Hello from Myrtle Beach. We are here biking on Ocean Boulevard. We are northbound. We're going to give you a tour of Ocean Boulevard today from a bike perspective. Got the beautiful ocean over to the left here. Gorgeous day. And you may see more bikes than usual today because it is Bike the Beach today. We are not participating in that event. We are just doing our own biking. But you're going to see a lot of bikers today, I think. Hi, I'm Carmen, and if you're new here, welcome. We cover everything Myrtle Beach and the surrounding area. And if you're a return viewer, thanks so much for watching. We really appreciate it. All right, it is a gorgeous fall day, as I mentioned. The sun is shining. It is fairly warm. I mean, it's cooler than the summer, but the high is going to be close to 80 today. Right now it's in the 60s, but I've got a sleeveless shirt and I'm fine. Really, really awesome weather. Here's the Residence Inn to the right. We have stayed there a couple of times. We have both a resort tour, a oceanfront room tour, and we also have a ocean view, which also gives you a view of Ocean Boulevard, which is kind of interesting. So we've got a lot of different videos of that resort, so I will link those in the description below. They'll be under the hotel playlist if you're interested. So it is in the morning, that's why the sun's not high in the sky quite yet. It's a good time to bike if you like to bike. It's a good time to walk on the beach if you enjoy that. Brian just pointed out this might be, it's hard to say. No, I think that's actually a City Works. He was saying this might be the end of the race. Not sure. It's not really a race, it's more of a fun ride. They do have a hardcore bike ride that's 96 miles. I won't be doing that one. They had a 10 mile and a 30 mile. And the 10 and 30 were considered family friendly. So, I mean, at a nice pace, not, you know, super fast pace. I've been getting a lot of questions, a ton of questions, on how Myrtle Beach and the surrounding areas fared from the hurricane. I will link our video on that in the description below. But I will also say the hardest hit areas were Garden City and Cherry Grove. Cherry Grove is in North Myrtle Beach. So if you're going to either of those locations, definitely call ahead and make sure the place you're planning to stay is going to be ready for you and everything's good there. In Myrtle Beach, there of course was damage, individual property damage, but not widespread damage other than the dunes are pretty much gone, which is sad. But the flip side of that is they're doing what they're supposed to in protecting property. It's just going to take a while for them to build it back, so I hope we don't have another big storm until they have time to do that. Right up here we have a huge amount of bikers coming up. So that's definitely part of the event.
Hey guys!
Hey!
Join us! Join us!
Friendly group. So that looks fun. I told Brian about this event and we talked about it, but we just kind of like being on our own schedule. Call us crazy. Kind of like doing our own thing. We try to get out and bike a couple of times a week, and it's a lot of fun. I mean, this is a great area for it. So if you're coming here on vacation, consider renting a bike. If you like the bike, definitely a lot of fun. But walking's great too. I mean, we love walking the beach, walking at Broadway and barefoot, just walking around. You can even walk up and down Ocean Boulevard, although it's funny when you bike it, I don't notice the car fumes as much for some reason, maybe because the wind's moving, but when you walk it, I do notice the car fumes unless it's off season. We get questions about when off season is. There's not a true off season anymore like there used to be. Almost all the businesses, with the exception of Family Kingdom, stay open year round now. They might have reduced hours, and a few things close in January and February, but for the most part, most things, especially the major things, so think of the boardwalk shops, the Skywheel, Broadway at the Beach, Barefoot Landing, all those things stay open year round. And so there's not really a true off season. If you're looking for lower rates, the rates will drop a little after October 31st. and then they will drop again in the January-February time frame. But then in March they start going back up again because that's when college spring breaks are. Morning. So, oh, here's a nice view of the ocean. Beautiful. So those would be our tips, but that's another thing. Don't expect dirt cheap prices. I know a lot of you have said you've gone to doing like Airbnb or Vrbo to get cheaper rates because the hotel rates are expensive. Here's another hotel we've stayed at, the Hampton Inn and Suites. It's been many years, but I've heard from some of you guys that it's still nice, and we've certainly enjoyed it in the past. Whereas the Marriott Radisson I showed, we did that last year, so we have a more current opinion, so to speak. This breezeway you see ahead here is the Landmark Hotel. And I didn't realize this till recently. A lot of the units in the Landmark are for sale. People actually own them. So it's like more like condo situation, I guess. I just always thought it was a hotel. And over on the left, just past this breezeway, is their new $3 million water park. So that is right over there. I do not know if it's still open for the season. I would think so, but it might not be. The daytime temperatures are definitely warm enough for it to be open. It's just that it's getting cool in the evening now, at night. Would definitely call ahead if that's something you're interested in before you come and make sure it is open. You see ahead is Family Kingdom that I mentioned earlier. They are closed for the season, as you can see by the Ferris wheel cars are removed. I think they took those off even prior to the hurricane as a precaution, just didn't put them back up since it is the off season. This water park you're going to see ahead on the right has been closed since, I believe, 2019 was the last year it was open. Might have even been closed before that, but in any case it's been closed for a while. And one of you told me that someone is going to buy it and bring it back to life, so that was great to hear because it's a great location right on the ocean. It used to be run by Family Kingdom, but even though they opened their park back up, they never did open the water slides back up after 2020. But yeah, the Family Kingdom sign says reopening spring of 2023. And so over here is that water park, and there's the ocean. And this is the section, I mentioned this in our other video, that did flood. The whole park, Family Kingdom, was under 2 to 3 feet of water during Ian. So that was one place in Myrtle Beach that did sustain some damage. But Family Kingdom is prone to flooding. That is not the first time that's happened in recent history. You can tell here how dirty everything is. All the sand is still, they still haven't gotten everything up. Like right up here, you can definitely see where they're working to get the sand back out. This part of the road was covered in sand, but they're still working to get that cleaned up. Here is the 2nd Avenue Pier and the Wicked Tuna. if you don't know this, the 2nd Avenue Pier is actually the beginning of the boardwalk. A lot of people think it's only that small area. And to be fair, that's the area we usually show in our videos. It's where all the attractions are, the main boardwalk area. But the boardwalk actually starts down here at 2nd Avenue Pier, and it runs well past the Skywheel. So if you're looking for a good place to walk, that's definitely it, especially in the off season. When I say off season, I just mean not summer or not the crowded times. And during the off season, you can ride your bike on the boardwalk. During the main tourist season, you can ride your bike, but it has to be between 5 a.m. and 10 a.m. on the boardwalk, that is. And I think the same rules apply to the beach, riding your bike on the beach, but definitely look that up because we do not ride on the beach. So it's a little hard on your bike, on your gears and such. Even if you clean it, it takes a toll, so that's not something we typically do. So if you want to do that, definitely look into that. Make sure you're doing it during the right hours. A lot of you have mentioned you like staying at this Holiday Sands North on my right. You said it's a pretty good price and a good location because it's on the boardwalk. So I'll throw that out there. We personally can't recommend it because we haven't stayed there, but we've definitely heard from more than one viewer that it's a good place to stay. So thanks for sharing that. When you share things like that, it really helps. And now we are coming up to the main boardwalk area, what everybody I think thinks of as the iconic boardwalk. We've got the new pedestrian guardrails here, which look lovely. I even noticed, I'll slow down right here, they even have a Myrtle Beach trash can now. Fancy. So that looks good. You see the ocean over there. Beautiful. If you're looking for a good time to visit, in our opinion, fall is it. It's the best time of the year here. We felt that way for years. You still get the warm weather, but you don't have the crowds that you have in the summer. It's just a great time to come. You won't have as long a waits for things, like if you're eating out or going to attractions. Up here we got Ripley's Believe It or Not, which is an interesting place. We have a video on that on our channel if you're interested. You can just go to our channel and search. It's definitely, it's hard to describe, but it's interesting. I think it's worth going once, for sure. We'll be going again and doing another video of it in the future. It's got Peach's Corner that's been around forever, since 1937. And then lots of gift stores. I think 3 arcades here. 2 of the arcades are oceanfront on the boardwalk, which is really cool. And of course, Gay Dolphin is a huge gift shop. Definitely recommend checking that out if you're here. You definitely will find something you like. They got multiple floors of gifties. And then Ripley's Mirror Maze, Haunted Adventure, and 5D Moving Theater. So lots of Ripley's attractions. There's also the Ripley's Aquarium. We are going to be doing a video on that soon, so stay tuned for that. I mean, really soon. If things work out, I would say in the next week or so. And then up here is the Skywheel. We just did a video on that, the full ride. So if you want to see what that's like to ride, check that out on our channel as well. And I'll try to remember to link that in the description below. And this is Plyler Park over here. Beautiful. They do have live music there certain times of the year. And then over on the left, we've got some extreme rides if you're into that. There's also some extreme rides at Broadway at the beach, but I would say these are probably the most extreme over here. Also under the Skywheel, there's the Landshark Bar and Grill. enjoyed this video, be sure to click on the video on your screen right now and click subscribe so you won't miss anything new. Thanks so much for watching. Until our next adventure.